Let's now focus on page 102. Page 102 has an article called City Limits. But before we focus our attention on the article, let's focus our attention on the questions at the end of the article. So basically, these questions are going to give you a guide for you to focus your attention on the information required for answering them. And it says, list 3 things mentioned in the article that, number 1, could help to reduce the threat of global warming. Guys, this word threat, it means in Spanish, amenaza. And also you have to list 3 things mentioned in the article that, number 2, are negative effects of sprawl. You will see in the article what sprawl is. I will let you know. And also you have to answer these 4 questions. The questions are, number 1, how many lives are lost every year in traffic accidents? Number 2, which country will have a population of over 750 million people? 3, what will happen if China follows the US car-centered model? And 4, which city has adopted a policy of reducing the use of cars? Let's focus now on the article. If you pay attention to the article, there are 10 different blanks. And for filling in these blanks, you have to use the words from the light blue squares or charts. Okay, you have to use those words for filling the first paragraph, for filling in the blanks of the first paragraph. Also, you have to use these other words for filling in these 3 blanks in this paragraph. And you have to use the words that are at the end of the first column for answering the blanks on the right column. Now let's go paragraph by paragraph for you to have a better understanding. Okay, so I will let you know some meanings. I'll help you to understand better the article. Do your best. And also you may get a pen and some paper for actually start writing your answers for the blanks. And let me read this article for you and also explaining some of the words. So pay attention, focus, and read with me. It says, if governments do not act quickly to discourage the building of cities for cars, guys, this expression discourage, it means diminish. The international effort to control global warming will become much more difficult, reports a study by the World Watch Institute. Sprawling, what is sprawling? Okay, I'm providing this meaning in Spanish, which is crecimiento desenfrenado. That's what happens in some cities. Okay, they grow exponentially and there is no planning for their growth. That's what happens in our country most of the times. So sprawling, crecimiento desenfrenado, blah blah blah, are helping to make blah 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 the fastest growing source of the blah blah blah, warming the Earth's atmosphere. So you may use some of the expressions above for filling in the blanks. Let's continue. Wind turbines. Wind turbines are these structures for generating electricity out of wind. Energy efficient cars and other blah 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 have received much attention in recent debates over energy policy, but we've been neglecting the role that urban design can play in stabilizing the climate. Before I move on, this word neglecting is like paying lack of attention. So take notes. Said Molly O'Meara Sheehan, author of City Limits, Putting the Brakes on Sprawl. Local concerns like clogged roads, okay, that's not, that's not hard to explain. The image explains itself. Those are clogged roads. The word clog in English, C-L-O-G, it means taquear. Okay, blah blah blah. And deteriorating neighborhoods are already fueling. Fueling is like promoting a reaction against sprawl. Understanding the role of sprawl in climate change should only speed up the shift is change towards more parks and fewer blah blah blah. Next paragraph. blah 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 shows that sprawl already damages people's health. Each year, blah blah blah, take up to 1 million lives worldwide. In some countries, the number of lives cut short by illness. Cut short, it's an expression that means interrupt. Cut short by illness from air pollution exceeds those lost to accidents, and by making driving necessary and walking and cycling less practical. Sprawling cities contribute to weight problems. Weight problems, in summary, they mean obesity. How do you pronounce that word? Obesity. Obesity, by depriving is like keep from enjoying. In Spanish, like the expression is like privar. That's the expression, which is not the same as privatizar. Okay? There is a difference between privar and privatizar. By depriving people of needed blah blah blah. Okay, let me finish reading. It says, by the end of the decade, the majority of the world's people will live in urban areas. Urban design decisions made today, especially in the developing world, where car use is still low, will have an enormous impact on global warming. Adoption of the US car-centered model would have disastrous consequences. In 30 years, China, excluding Hong Kong, will have 752 million urban dwellers. Dwellers are inhabitants, people who live in a specific place. If each were to cope with the transportation habits of the average resident of San Francisco in 1990, the carbon emissions in urban China could exceed 1 billion tons. Some cities in developing countries have already proved that a strategy of de-emphasizing means like discouraging the use of whatever, cars in this case, and providing public transit instead can work, said Sheehan. Starting in 1972, the city of Curitiba in Brazil built a system of busways and rezoned is like relocate, or in this case relocated areas along the thoroughfares. What a strange word. It means highways. And is now enjoying better air quality and more parks for its 2.5 million people. So these are the questions, guys. So you may go back to the video, or you may use the PDF for seeing the article entirely. You may print it if you want, answer the questions, and provide the answers in the quiz for this page. See you next time.